happening, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. This is Mike Man. We got Detroit. We got Mickey in the house. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time for us on this show. We haven't all been together, but we're together now, and we got some heat for today. So what's happening, everybody? How's everybody been the last couple of weeks?
Wonderful.
I've been good. Yeah. I think we got to give it up to Miss Mickey, don't we? Tell people why she been gone.
Well, let her tell it.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
Well, I recently got married July 21st.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We got that. Yeah.
I wish we had like some bells and whistles going in the background.
I know, that would have been cute.
So now, guys, Mickey is a married woman, and when we blow up with this podcast and all y'all see her, y'all gonna eat your hearts out and be like, wow, she got married, bro. So what's up, man? Right State of Mind. We back at you. You know, I've been doing some traveling, been back home to Detroit. Hey, check out my last Villain podcast, The Villain. I did an interview while I was in Detroit back in June. So I believe the people will like that one. Mike Man been dropping Escaping Planet Sucker. I think you got, 2 episodes?
Yeah, I got another one coming out. Man, this was cold, right? We recorded another week, right?
Yeah.
I sent it. It didn't come on the file, so that's why it's not out. So I'm going to have a double up. It's going to be 2 parts. It's a 2-parter. We got an hour and it's going to be a double up episode.
Okay,
I forgot to send it on time.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
So what's up, man? Right State of Mind. We back at you. Please comment, people. Comment. Tell us what you think. Subscribe and like.
We need info.
So the NFL, man. This is gonna jump right into it. NFL. The league came out with the rule, and I believe the rule said any player that doesn't stand in the national anthem. Well, they never said how he was going to be punished, and they said if you didn't want to stand, that you had to stay in the locker room.
I'll give you the straight rules. This is the rules.
But wait a minute, but they came back with they took all the teeth off the rule. Now they're saying they're not gonna do anything at all.
Y'all gotta tell me exactly.
This is what happened. I'm gonna tell you. I've been paying attention.
What we talking about?
The NFL. So this is what happened. The NFL came out with a policy. The NFL came out with the policy about the stand on the boycott, right? So what they said was if you choose to not participate in the national anthem, stay your ass in the locker room. But if you come out,
that's not new though.
Yeah, if you come out and onto the stage. You better be 10-2 on the line, hard over the right hand, straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Hard over right hand.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And do the pledge. So everybody had a problem with it. Then they doubled back and said that they're not going to enforce this rule because you're going to get fined by your team and all that. And a couple of owners were stepping out saying, oh, everybody's going to be on the line and correct and woo-woo, Jerry Jones. And then, I think the dude from the Dolphins said it. And then some owners was like, if they choose to protest, I'm going to pay the fine. So it was big. It got extra. So the NFL said, you know what? That's the new rule, but we're going to suspend the rule. Not suspend. They're not going to enforce it at this time. Right? So now, preseason started this week. And so all these protesters was protesting, right? The president, he gets on there talking about you better have them, people stand on the line or whatever. And all that, and so it's kind of like a big controversial thing going on.
Oh, President Trump is back in it again.
Yeah, President Trump's back in the owners and all. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like this. This protest has been on for about 2 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. And people got to understand, you have to educate yourself. It's so easy with all the shining bells and whistles in the world today, especially, the phone lights up, it tells you everything, to forget your information. Here's the information. The information is this. Colin Kaepernick, 2 years ago, when he was a member of the Niners, stand on one knee because he was in for police brutality and distributing minorities. How the police is killing minorities and treating minorities unfair and brutalizing us.
Right.
He took a knee for that. They sit there saying it's disrespectful to the flag.
The flag and the song.
The flags and the song. Certain veterans said you have the right to protest.
Yes,
and they said if you're going to be respectful anyway, take a knee. If you're going to do it.
Many of them said that.
Certain vets, they don't see it anyway, so the vets don't even got it right. So you can't just sit there and say, so when people say, well, I talked to a vet, basically it's a vet opinion. Every vet has said, I'm with it or I'm against it. It's all opposite, so that doesn't even make any sense. So the president gets involved and wants to say stuff. The vice president wants to say stuff. The NFL makes it a big deal, saying, we're not going to go through. So they go through that whole cluster thing the last 2 years, and they said, you know what, we're not going to do it. Here's the reality. Colin Kaepernick and what the NFL and what the president doing are 2 different things. Colin Kaepernick made a knee because of police brutality. Everything after that and all this little fiasco with the NFL, that's the NFL and Donald Trump. Let's not forget our common history. Let's revisit history, guys. A few years ago, the president, Donald Trump, wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills. He wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills, and all the owners, all 32 NFL owners says, we'll never let Donald Trump in the NFL league. And you know why? Because 10 years ago when he tried to buy the Buffalo Bills, 20 years ago he started the AFL. And he tried to kill the NFL. And the AFL was popping back then. It was winning.
The USFL?
The USFL. And the USFL was popping. They had Steve Young. They was popping. But he fucked up the USFL. And that went down. And so the NFL got a lot of priest players. And they told him from since then he was never getting big in the league. So revisionist history tells you some things that put in there and they'll say it's racist and it is racist. It may start from the purest things, but don't get it. It's all about this money and it's all about this politics. Like when people say they boycott the NFL, it's not about for the killing of black. It's about for whether the NFL wants to associate with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is using it to flex on the NFL. So be smarter. And these owners are making it harder for everybody else to be like, it's not a race issue because they're so stupid they make it an issue. You know what I mean? It's not even about that. It's about the fact that he was salty because he couldn't get into the league. Who else got an opinion? Speak on.
Okay.
Is this a topic?
Excuse me, Mickey Mouse. The entire you've been so caught up
I have two.
in your wedding, being the princess of, being the beautiful
Yes.
African princess of the hour. We didn't mention everyone. Do you mind?
No,
Her husband is a Nigerian brother, so I think that's lovely and beautiful
know.
because she's a very Afrocentric woman that's tries her best to be in touch with her roots ever since I've known her. So it's almost natural progression and not a surprise that she would marry
not
her
a
brother.
surprise at all.
Right,
I do
right.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
I just fell in love with the culture too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you was like, I'm bringing the culture home and put it in my bed.
Yes.
Hey,
Bring the culture home. That's cute.
so
Yes.
you gonna wait on that?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. So Mike, I hear what you're saying, and Donald Trump, everything in America. Let's be honest, guys. And a lot of times when I throw stuff on, y'all jump all over me. But I want y'all to really, really critically think about what I'm saying. Everything in America, when you boil it down, comes down to race and money. Really, everything in America comes down. I know we got Asians here, we got Hispanics here.
No,
we
I mean,
got,
it is.
Wait a minute. When you boil everything down in America, all the big crazy shit, stuff that's going on, everything boils down to not just race and money. It boils down to black and white and money. Yes, other races here, and they have their issues with America, and America is racist toward them whenever they get a chance to. But when we talk about the racism of America, the racism of America was built especially and specifically for the slave once they so-called freed the slave. I mean, slavery is still legal by the Constitution. So, you know what I'm saying?
I have this radical opinion.
So, wait a minute. So, it may be about money, but that doesn't matter. I don't care if Donald Trump is mad because the NFL didn't give him a team. Because with Kaepernick, with him calling it out the beginning for what he called it out at, brought on a broader conversation. And every part of the conversation makes sense and it's something that should be talked about. It should be talked about how much should black people respect the flag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love America. You serve this country. But
I serve this country.
and both of you are vets, Air Force and Navy. But let's look at we don't even got to go way back to World War I. We don't even have to go back to the Civil War when they had black men serving this country. Let's just jump to Vietnam in the 70s, how they did those brothers. During the Korean War, I can go over there and I can fight for this country, but when I come back, if I'm below the Mason-Dixon line, I can't walk in this restaurant and sit at the counter. Come on.
I feel like...
You know what I'm saying? It really trips me out when they try to call black people out as being unpatriotic and not liking America when black people get pissed off about something that's in our face. Yes, I love living in this country. Probably if I was born and if I knew what I knew now, if I didn't have any more information than I have now, and I was allowed to pick what country to be born in, I would pick America. You know what I'm saying? It may be somewhere that would have been better for me. I don't know. From the world I see, I'm in the best spot to be in. You feel me? So even being a black man, I'm still in the best spot to be in. So, man, America has everything is racist, bro. That flag is right. The song threatens terrorism and murder to slaves. And then people say, oh, they took that line out. So what? It's still in the spirit of the song. He meant it when he wrote it. The man that wrote it owned 175 slaves. Why should I stand and respect that song as a black man? Why? Would you?
I think it's bigger than that.
No. I'm asking fundamentally what it comes down to. Would you?
Would you kneel?
Would I kneel?
No, would you stand if you're in the NFL right now, knowing everything you know at this moment, would you put your hand over your heart and stand for that flag?
Being an NFL player, no, I wouldn't stand because it's a personal. The reason why, if I was an NFL player and I wouldn't stand, isn't about being racist. It's about being punked. You know what I'm saying? It's about being intimidated. It's like,
but here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even
He
about
punked them
that
because
anymore.
they're black.
He punked
because
them
if this had been a white issue, it never would have went down. He used this moment because these are just niggas anyway. I got
Right.
my own agenda here.
But
But if it had
here,
been something with white
Is
boys,
it
ain't
really
no
a
way.
black thing though? Because look, this is something you texted me earlier. You said the poll for the popular vote in Trump for black people went up dramatically between the time he got elected and now.
Yeah, last year,
You get
this
what I'm
time, he
saying?
polled at 14% approval among black voters.
Yeah.
The same time this year, he polled at 29%.
So it went up, and that's what I'm thinking. This is what I'm just saying. It's like, you know,
Huh?
for whatever reason you want to call it,
Yeah.
for whatever you want to call it, it's racist. It's everything in it. Whatever your end game is, right? Here's the facts. Here's the fact. Here's the reality of this. And everybody got to look at their history. Like, racism is real in America. These police is gonna do whatever. These white people, when they get in power, they gonna do whatever, right? We've seen examples. So I'm not speaking out my neck. Like, we've seen examples. You know what I'm saying of that. But what I'm telling you is this is where you have to really formulate a plan. You have to really decide who you are as a person, who you are as a race, and what you're gonna bring forth to you when you empower yourself. Because at the end of the day, what's really empowering yourself? Empowering yourself is empowering your community, empowering the ones about you, and developing power to protect you from this BS. You get what I'm saying? The NFL has a players' union. And people don't understand, like, what's a players' union? Like, when you work in construction...
People don't know what a players' union
no,
is?
I'm saying, like, what's a player... I'm just saying, when you work in construction or you're somewhere and there's a union...
I bet
the
everybody
union
in Pennsylvania,
looks out for you.
Michigan,
You get
and
what I'm saying?
Ohio
So it
know
ain't
what
up
a
to
union
us to be like, well, I'm boycotting the NFL this year because they're racist. The NFL ain't racist.
Whoa,
It's the society. Don't let society
What you
dictate.
mean? Okay, listen
Because,
to this.
hold on.
This
Let me
brother
finish what I'm
just made
saying.
an argument because
Let me
he
finish
wanna
what
watch
I'm
the
saying.
NFL.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Don't let
If
society...
you want to watch the NFL, bro,
Listen,
watch
no,
the
it's
NFL.
not about watching the
But
NFL.
this is some bullshit
It's-
you
no,
shoveling.
This is what you're kicking.
Okay.
This is the shit that
All right.
you're letting them kick. Don't let society tell you what you're supposed to be outraged about until you look at the real facts. Let's just keep this 1,000. The NFL on that boycotting about the police killings, that was over with 2 years ago. That was over 2 years ago. This right now, this is about the president punking the NFL, and the players is like, you're not about to punk me. That's all this is about. They're just throwing stuff in it. At this point, it's just fuel to the fire, man. You got to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to move smart.
He don't see the
Certain
bigger
movements
picture
don't
that I'm
get into
saying,
it.
do he?
The bigger picture that you're saying is you're
Even-
seeing this overall picture. People should already see them pictures by now. We're in 2018. The internet is fast-paced moving.
What
You
he's
should
saying
already
is
see
that
it.
you're not worried
Jim
about
Brown
that.
It's
said-
not worried about. It's not nothing.
It's what?
It's not. See, these athletes are telling you this is an athlete's problem. It's not a. It's not a real. It's not a real. It's not. It's not. It's not
They're using
conducive to our community. It's conducive to their environment. Is what I'm saying, and that's the reality, and that's what people get suckered into. You get what I'm saying? Because the NFL is on, but you know what I mean? And all the players, they do what they got to do in the backfield. Not to knock these players that doing what they're doing, but what's going on between the NFL and that protest and the president, that has nothing to do with the everyday common man. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with police brutality. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing. It doesn't need your opinion or worship. That's a pissing contest between men of a different level than we are. You get what I mean? That's what it's about. And people get drawn in. And what men do and what power does of different levels that we do not understand, they bring us involved to all their conflicts. They put us in the conflict. They put us in there. So they use us as the front lines. And you got to be smart about that. You know what I'm saying? When it's about, you know what I mean? When you look at that stuff, it's not, all it does is attract you. I'm not going to watch the NFL. It doesn't give you an absolute of what productive you're doing for the black society. You get what I mean? Because that's what it's about. The whole about is about police brutality. But what has changed in police brutality? What has awareness got us? Awareness has got us straight on the NFL. Awareness did not get us on the police brutality. Because while we over here tripping off the NFL and hearing every little detail about it, these police been getting off. The stand your ground with the man that they
It
shot,
was
the
years
stand
to
your
let
ground in
people off,
Louisiana
yeah.
and Florida, when they shot that man on his fucking knees and he got off, they got it on camera. The man was on his fucking knees and he blew him away and got off.
Shit, the Tamir Rice
You
cop
get what I'm
got
saying?
off.
Got off. Those are the real issues. You got to see what happens. Those are the issues that brought up. Those
I
are the
think it
issues
was only
we're supposed to look
2
at.
out of about
We're not supposed to look
12
at
that
the
got
NFL.
convicted.
That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Look at the statistics.
But,
Like,
okay.
you can get outraged and all this and about the NFL. It's easy to talk about. That's all a distraction from the real point. It's like people get so when famous people get to arguing, you look at what the famous people get to arguing about. You don't look at what their art, what's
That's
the
all they see.
details.
No
That's
one-
all you
that's
see.
all they see.
But what's in reality when you see that NFL protest, he took that knee. You supposed to look at Sterling Brown's case and say, wait a minute. That's a timeout for you to say, before I see kickoff, let me think what's going on. Let me Google the Sterling Brown case and see what happened. This nigga got off. What? Hold on. We need to make something happen. But what happened? Ain't nobody did nothing. So let's just keep it real. Reality is what happens every day, and fantasy is what you see on TV. So when you see these people
reality
argue,
is
and just because you didn't see Colin Kaepernick get a job and he's no longer in the NFL, yeah, he's a martyr for that event of the NFL, but don't get it twisted. Don't not get it twisted. That didn't change nothing from you and every other day, because I'm pretty sure when that happened, he stopped working in the NFL. I'm pretty sure in your life you didn't seen a family member, you didn't seen yourself, or you probably heard of a friend, a acquaintance, or something go through some racist bullshit between now and then, and ain't nobody saying shit because they was more worried about what happened to Colin Kaepernick, and instead of what's going on in front of us. So don't let that stuff mimic you. Be who you are, but look around in your community and help you out. Because if you was about your community, the community that let down Sterling Brown that got killed when he was on his fucking knees, they let him down because they were worried about what happened with Colin Kaepernick in the NFL and want to hear that. Their community didn't help them. You, if you're in a community, if you're an adult, if you're over 21 and you can smoke and you can drink and you can party, you can have unprotected sex and all that, you need to worry about what your community doing. Because when somebody gets shot in your neighborhood, that's your problem. It ain't Colin Kaepernick's problem. It ain't the NFL's problem.
And you know what?
It's
Most of the community
Straight
agrees with you because there hasn't been a problem. Because most brothers haven't stopped watching the NFL anyway. So you're preaching to the choir. There's many people that agree with you.
It's not about people agreeing with
No,
me.
but I'm saying what you're saying.
What I'm saying is
what
about
you're saying.
action
A lot of
what
people
you're getting outraged about. Is
what
ridiculous.
you're saying. A lot of people obviously feel that way because the majority of brothers I talk to still watch the NFL, especially
And then why
here
would
in
you
Dallas.
not watch
Here
the
in
NFL?
Dallas, Cowboy fans.
Why would you not watch
Okay,
the NFL?
why would
Because
you not-
The NFL, 80%
Okay,
is
I
black,
just-
so all you're doing is
I
watching your own.
I was just quiet for
why
so
would you
long,
not?
right?
Like that's
I
crazy.
know it's
to me.
concerned. Go ahead.
Okay, now
Why would
when
you
I
not?
talked to you before about the NFL, I said, man, that's bad place to be in because I have no problem with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's their livelihood. That's how they feed their kids. So it's like they're unintended consequence being hurt in a decision that if enough black people did stop buying NFL paraphernalia and stop watching it, they would really feel it. My question is, man, where do we start? When Colin Kaepernick, the moves that rich, powerful men make, they do because we let them. Because at what point do we say, what? This was in front of the whole world. So yeah, they may be having a pissing contest, but at that moment, when he took that knee to bring police brutality in modern times, looking like it did 60 years ago, that was the chance to grab onto that, but nobody reacted to it. So what you're saying is, don't forget that he was on his knee. That moment is gone. That's what we do. We let too many moments be gone. It's like back when the civil rights movement had its power, it was because they wouldn't let a moment just be gone. When something would happen, that would put the power into the people and have them do something about it. That's like nowadays, the church that got bombed in Mississippi and killed those little girls.
Oh.
It's like this.
Nowadays,
this is what you do.
black people would feel like you do about that.
No, this is
The
what you
person that got bombed
do.
by
But
the
this is
white
what
guy.
you do.
Say what I'm saying?
In South Carolina, in the Carolinas.
But this is what you do. This is what you do. You in reality, this is what you in real life reality. This is what you do. You deal at your community and you build your way up from your community level. It's like this. This is what you do. There's 3 of us in this room. There's 3 of us on this podcast. And we got an editor, so that's 4. And we got a listening person that gives us the go, or if they got complaints, they give us. So that's 5 people total. Right? So between the 5 of us, if look like this. If There's Tam, Jimmy, me in one room, and the other two, I'm not going to name their names so they want to be on air. Look, we all do a pot in. We say, look, Sunday, we all give up $100 we put in this pot. We give this pot, the pot has everybody has $100, so that's $500 in this pot. We give that pot to Tam. Tam, here's $500. Tam, what you do with that $500, you don't spend, you don't touch, you just hold it. Now, you're $500 up from whatever your finances is. Next time we all get paid, we all give $100 in the pot. It's another $5. We give it to somebody else. Then we vice versa. So what happens is everybody holds this money. So when something happens in our community, guess what we do? We all go to our pot. We have something for it. Mm-hmm. We have the ability to fight now because power is money. Money is power. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That's if you don't understand. The thing about it is what people don't get about it is like money isn't everything. Money's not going to buy you happiness. You got to twist it. The love of all that is not going to make you happy. You have to have it. You have to have that to have
people
power.
Mess that up all the time.
That's what you mess up. So when you see some of these niggas out here with a fucking 40, you know what I'm saying, talking that shit and they don't have nothing. Yeah, they say because I don't love it. No, you still got to have it to have that power. You empower yourselves. You empower your community. So when you go through stuff like that, because you know what, if you was in a community, if we was in a community right now and we did that for months, let's just say we all got money saved up. Jimmy gets shot in the neighborhood, God forbid, and they say some shit. Guess what? We know who Jimmy is. We know who his character, and we got the money to fight that. So it ain't gonna be no nah. Check this out. We dump it, no, because we know who that person is. We can fight for that person's name, and that's how you get that man cleared. Because guess what? Oh, these niggas got cash, so we can't just 86 them because they're not going to legal aid or looking on a public defender or calling on Al Sharpton to come out here and make a CNN coverage and a mockery of our lives. You know what I'm saying? And that's just reality. That's reality. You got to understand how to empower your community. But half of the problem with us is black folks is we don't empower our community because we don't understand what community is until it's too late. Till we're older and we establish that. You got to start establishing your community early and often and make your community prominent and let them know what it is.
Agreed. So, we had another topic.
Well, that's Tam's topic. Tam, what you want to talk about? What's your special topic, Tam?
Today.
Ooh, here it comes. Don't act tough now.
Tough? What do you mean?
He's trying to act tough on me because I just want
them legalizing breastfeeding publicly.
Publicly? Okay, so this is what I'm saying.
All states.
This is how I feel. I don't care. Like, it's whatever. If I feel like I'm never going to be able to breastfeed because I'm a man, because this is never going to happen. But if a woman feels like they need to breastfeed, if that's what she says, I agree with it. Now, how I feel about it is what I was talking to my wife about this one. And I told her, I said, there's just, some people are assholes. So it's like, are immature. So just watch out for it. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. And I'm not saying it's like you guys should never do it and just because of that one reason. But, I'm saying that because that's just real. Okay, that's just that's the only reality.
Just in case they don't know. A woman may breastfeed in any place of public accommodation, irrespective of whether the woman is covered or uncovered, incidental breastfeeding. So they don't have to be covered. So I can see where it can make people uncomfortable, of course, because no one wants to see that.
Oh, but in Utah, it's illegal for them to breastfeed their baby uncovered.
No, these were Utah and Idaho were just the last two states to get under the legalization of it.
Oh, I thought Michigan it was illegal in my home state.
It says all 50 states.
It's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it just got legal this year.
Mm-hmm. It just happened not too long ago.
Okay. Now, this is ridiculous because we live in a country. We live in a country.
Wait, because you didn't even let me finish.
Where for 40-something years it's been legal to murder unborn children, but they just now make it illegal to breastfeed a baby in public.
It's
These people are got to be the most ridiculous thinking people in the world.
Statement right there. I feel because how do you go to that? From that to this,
did you understand what I mean by that?
No, of course. Why would it not? You're feeding a child.
Yeah,
it's like natural. That's the opposite of natural. What is already fine and legalized. That's the most unnatural thing to do. Okay.
I don't get what the logic of this conversation is. I don't understand.
No, not the logic. I'm just saying. I think it's fine. Cover up though, you don't. Are we arguing about why this took so long? Why is it took till 2018 for you guys to breastfeed in public? No, some people think that it's a problem.
Who thinks it's a problem?
A lot of people.
Immature assholes that don't know how to handle
it. It just got legal within the whole country.
Because those are fucking dudes that are hella masculine and be like, no, It shouldn't be like that. You know, those are the ones that feel like they can tell women what to do, when to do, and
I
how
don't
to
think
do.
it'd be dudes. I think it'd be
Not
other.
even
I think it'd be
that.
other
No,
dudes.
I mean, it's a progressive society. Like, this is what the whole thing about it is either you're with a progressive
They
society or
just
you're
relate the body parts to sex only. That's the main
not.
reason
In
why
Europe,
people
they
would
can
have a
have
problem
titties
with
and
it.
newspapers and everything. Everybody can.
But you know,
They don't
things are
care.
censored. You know,
Things are
it's
censored.
like that's all they relate it to. They forget that it's a living organ. You know, it
Yeah.
provides.
That's what happens when you
food
build a
for
country
child.
off
Sustenance.
Christianity. You get all these stupid ass loopholes and stuff that doesn't make any sense.
With what now?
We build a country off Christianity.
No,
No.
that
You
has nothing to
sound
do with
like
it. Nothing at all.
I'm just saying, guys.
You could be a Buddhist and have
State
a problem
and
with
church
that.
gotta
You
be
know,
separate.
it has nothing to do
You
with
know what I mean?
Christianity
You don't even know what
or
that
religion
means. The
at
average
all.
person that says that don't even know what that means.
Average
does-
person. That's
That's
why
another
we're here to
topic.
enlighten.
Huh?
We're here to enlighten with my
No.
game.
But the man
My
that
knowledge.
wrote that, what he meant was there should be a separation
There's always
from the state and the
And
church,
church.
as in there's
Money.
not a, because when they
But
left England,
if you,
when they left England, there was a Church of England.
yeah.
So the state and the church were together. He didn't mean that you can't pray inside of a building that's a
what you
state
mean.
building.
That's not what he meant. That's what you mean.
Oh
Let me
my
see. Let's get
God.
it twisted.
You
Like,
could
that's
be.
what
It
you mean.
has nothing to do
That's
with
what- guys, that's what
Christianity.
he
You could be
means.
Muslim
That's not
and
what the
feel the
person-
same
Bro,
way.
I've
That interpretation is a motherfucker. guys.
Interpreta-
I'm
it's
telling
a
you,
whole-
you can
he
interpret
wrote-
anything how
he
you want
wrote-
to interpret it.
he wrote an entire paper on it, bro. I'll send it to you.
Pull the paper up.
I'll
Because
send
I
it
was
to
looking
you.
at the paper earlier, and it doesn't. I mean,
This brother's lying. He was lying.
interpretation is
The
everything.
The original man
I
that
wouldn't have
wrote
said
that, you were
it.
looking
I
at his
wouldn't have
paper
said it.
earlier.
I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't read it. That's why I said it. What I
Okay,
said today.
did you know that in England
Like, I
they had the
researched
Church
all
of
the
England?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a history buff.
so
you know that about
you don't
me.
you don't act like it though when we started talking.
No, when you go see, there's a difference between being a history buff and a religious buff. History and religion.
But
got
who's
two different
talking about
timelines.
religion right now?
I'm talking about facts. There was
Talking
the
about
Church of
facts.
England,
No,
right?
because he's talking about religion right now. He's talking about in previous arguments.
No,
I haven't
you're the one that
talked
brought
about
up
history,
religion in the first place.
I
don't
said-
know what that has to do with what we're talking
Yes,
about.
you
what
brought
happens
up
when you
you
build-
brought up Church and
And
State,
this is what
so you
happens
brought a
when you
religion.
build a fucking society off Christianity. You can't do it. There's too many loopholes.
It doesn't
There's
matter
too
if it's
many.
Christianity. Anybody can feel this
And, I
way.
mean, I'm
What you
not
mean?
saying
It
it
has
for
nothing to
just
do
to
with
be
that.
a Christianity bash. I'm not saying it to be a bash. I'm
Then
saying
why say it then?
religion in all aspects of building a
This has
society.
nothing to do with religion,
doesn't
though.
work.
An
Because-
atheist can feel this way if he don't want to see it and got some.
I mean, what I'm saying is this. Oh, you gotta go. We're
No.
off. Peace out.
No,
Good, I'm tired of this. Good, go on. But like I was saying,
He said, "Good, go
now
on."
that I'm uninterrupted by BX, is what I was going to say. It's like this. Listen, yeah, you can't. You. This is how society works, guys. Are you either mad because it took till 2018 for people to breastfeed in public? Is that the thing? Or are you excited for it? Because if you're upset, like it finally took us till 2018 to bring it, that's because we have so many bigots that put things in front of things that doesn't
No, I'm not.
regulate things.
I'm not upset about it. I don't care if a
I don't
woman.
care, no.
It's something that's natural.
It's
You know,
natural.
woman has a baby, that's her child. She's giving her child sustenance. So I never really thought about if it was legal or illegal for women to breastfeed in public. You know what I mean? Now, as far as the point that I was making was the irony and ridiculousness of the mindset
Irony. Okay, so let's talk
of
about the
the
irony.
country, because
I think it's
it took
irony.
this long. It took until just a month ago for you to make it legal for women to do something that's giving life, but it's been legal for like 40 years to murder.
The irony in this
You
country
know?
doesn't even accept black people. You know what I'm saying? We've been here
What
since
do
the
you
start.
expect?
That's
Yeah.
irony. So it's 2018. They allow breastfeeding, but they still don't accept us after 500, 600 years of this
They're
country.
not going to accept us.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of irony in America. This America
Yeah, they're
should be
not gonna
called
accept
Ira
us.
America. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some irony around here.
Well, look,
It's all
hey,
types of
you know,
craziness.
breastfeeding was a little more interesting than I thought it would be.
It is,
Um,
especially when you say outlandish things.
I just saying,
Shut
that's
up.
the thing.
Relate to your bottom line.
What do you,
What?
Everybody,
bro,
No.
you out there on your own with that one. Nobody knows what you're
And,
talking
look,
about.
only reason I'm saying that if you're a fan of the show, you guys follow us. You know this guy Detroit. He got his
Look,
he got
now
his
you know
bottom line.
Mickey is not
He
going to
got his
protect
bottom
me.
line.
Mickey is not going to
He's
protect
always
me if I'm
about three
BS.
subjects.
Shay's going to have my back.
You don't understand. I'm not.
I'm not
Yeah.
here. Mickey,
So-
I asked me for help. I'm just
No, I'm
saying.
just saying. Nobody see what you're talking about but you.
Everybody that want, if they listen, they know what I'm talking about.
Nah.
Listen to all the shows. Jim got a bottom line. You got to pay attention, guys. I'm telling you, you got a bottom.
So I
Once
guess
you figure it
I
out,
guess we'll
comment
get
me and we'll figure. I'll tell you because he don't see it, but I see it.
we'll get to that last topic next time.
Yes, time. So thanks. We'll see y'all later. I'm saying Mike Man and I'm out.
Tell the
Hit me
people
on
peace,
network.
Mickey Mouse.
One Views 88.
All right.
Yep.
What up, though, people? We out of there.